Hello and welcome to the TotalEnergies BWF World Championship 2022 draw, and we're live right here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The TotalEnergies BWF World Championships will be held from the 22nd of August to the 28th of August in Tokyo, Japan. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon and welcome to the draw ceremony for the TotalEnergies BWF World Championships 2022, which will be held from the 22nd to the 28th of August at the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium in Tokyo, Japan. I'm Rashid Saleh and I'm your MC for the draw ceremony. The BWF World Championships is the most prestigious tournament in badminton. This is an individual championship where players compete for the title of World Champion. There are 5 events offered: men's singles, women's singles, men's and women's doubles, and mixed doubles. First held in 1977 and originally hosted every 2 years, the BWF World Championships has, since 2005, been held every year except the year of the Summer Olympic Games. For example, for years 2012, 2016, and 2020, there are no BWF World Championships. The TotalEnergies BWF World Championships 2022 marks its 27th edition of this prestigious tournament. But before we proceed with the draw, let's introduce BWF's president's welcoming note.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Welcome to the draw of the TotalEnergies BWF World Championships 2022. I'm thrilled that Japan is hosting the BWF World Championships for the first time. Just a year ago, Japan hosted the Olympic Games in Tokyo, where we witnessed many memorable moments. I'm looking forward to seeing our badminton superstars fight it out once again on Japanese soil. Of course, a championship of this magnitude would not be possible without the fantastic work of our host, Nippon Badminton Association. NBA has a proud history of hosting important events, and everything seems to set for a successful 7 days. I'd like to acknowledge the support of our long-term title sponsor, TotalEnergies, as we celebrate 7 years in partnership together. Finally, I'm very proud that BWF and the membership have emerged out of the COVID-19 with the sport on a sound footing. The TotalEnergies BWF World Championships 2022 is a continuation of this journey. Best of luck for today's draw.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now I'd like to welcome the representative from the Nippon Badminton Association for his speech, Mr. Kinji Zeniya, the General Secretary of Nippon Badminton Association.
世界各国のバドミントンファミリーの皆さん、こんにちは。まずはじめに、新型コロナウイルス感染症との長きにわたる戦いの中で、感染症治療並びに拡大防止対策に取り組まれている各国の医療従事者の皆様に改めて感謝いたします。さあ、いよいよ8月22日より世界バドミントン選手権大会2022がここ東京を舞台に関係者の皆様のご尽力により初めて日本で開催されます。昨年夏に開催された東京2020オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会は多くの方々のご協力を賜り成功裏に幕を閉じました。その興奮が冷めやらぬうちに2年連続で最高峰の舞台を東京で実現できることを大変光栄に思います。 新型コロナウイルスの影響で世界的に大規模なスポーツ大会が中止に追い込まれる期間が長く続く中、我々日本バドミントン協会は日本国政府との強固な連携のもと、選手団、観客、運営スタッフなど全ての関係者の安全に対して万全の対策を講じることで安心できる大会運営の体制を準備しています。日本の伝統であるおもてなし精神を持って皆様をお迎えする所存です。終わりに本大会の開催にあたり多大なるご支援、ご尽力いただきました世界バドミントン連盟、世界各国のバドミントン関係者、スポンサー、放送局等関係各社、そして大会運営にご尽力いただきました多くの皆様に心から感謝申し上げましてご挨拶といたします。
Thank you very much, Mr. Kinji Zenia. Now, I'd like to welcome our title sponsor, TotalEnergies, for the welcome speech. And we have Mr. Andy Fong, the Marketing Director of TotalEnergies Marketing Malaysia, Sudirman Berhad. Mr. Andy Fong.
Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all. We are excited to see the staging of the TotalEnergies BWF World Championship 2022 despite COVID-19 challenges in Japan. We thank and commend the efforts of BWF and the Nippon Badminton Association to look forward to a successful event in Tokyo, Japan later this month. TotalEnergies has been the title sponsors and official energy partners of the BWF major events since 2015. As a global multi-energy company, we are committed to energizing lives and communities. We are delighted to be able to do so through badminton by making the sports accessible for all to participate and enjoy. Badminton and TotalEnergies lubricants and mobility solutions share common attributes of performance, precision, and endurance. We believe we will see much of these attributes from the world's strongest players as they contest for the World Championship titles. Together, let's keep the energy going.
Thank you, Mr. Andy Fong. Now, the draw is electronic using the tournament software system that's used for all BWF international competitions. So we don't have the balls and the boxes for this draw that you may have become familiar with. Now, this is because of the number of players participating in the championships. We have 385 players from 48 member associations. There are 64 players in the men's singles, 48 players in the women's singles, 48 pairs in each men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed doubles. So we use the electronic system, and we will guide you through the process and explain it as we go along. Now, we'll make the mixed doubles draw first, followed by the women's doubles, and then men's doubles, and then women's singles, and finally finish with the men's singles draw. We'll also take a look at the seeds in each event before we make that draw. Now, there are 16 seeds in each event, which is a rule specific to the World Championships, and the seedings are taken from the World Rankings of 2nd of August 2022. With us, of course, our BWF referee, Ms. Yao Lin Na from Malaysia, who will witness and validate the draw, and to assist with the draw ceremony are event officers Shanmugan Ramachandran and Yi Hon Jun. We're also pleased to welcome back Mr. Andy Fong, the Marketing Director, TotalEnergies Marketing Malaysia, Sudirman Berhad, in making the draw for the 5 events. So, we start our draw with the mixed doubles. The winner for 2021 World Championships mixed doubles is Dechapol Puavara Nukroh and Sapsiri Terat Tanachai. Let's recap their winning moments. A formidable pair indeed. But who will be their seeded opponents? Let's have a look at the top 16 seeds for the mixed doubles. The mixed doubles defending champions are currently the second seeds, and will they have a better chance against the first seeds, Zheng Siwei and Huang Ya-kyung, who have won 5 tournaments that they've entered in the past 3 months? So now we have our guest, Mr. Andy Fong, the Marketing Director of TotalEnergies Marketing Malaysia, Sudirman, to make the first draw for the mixed doubles. Now the draw will be conducted electronically, so we'll go straight into the draw process. All right, first click on roster, and we have to make sure that we select the right event, which is the mixed doubles, and then we look at the entries. So Andy and Jun, can you please scroll through the entries to see how many pairs are in there? Great. So we can see that the 16 seeds and 48 pairs are in the entries who accepted the invitation to play in the World Championships. Now that we are sure we have 48 pairs in the draw, we'll proceed to make the draw. So we'll go to the navigation bar on top of the page, click Draw, select Make Draw. It's the third option from the drop-down menu. And again, make sure we are making the draw for the right event, which is mixed doubles, and the main draw has 48 entries. So Andy, please click Next if you confirm that that's the right event. Great. At this point, let me explain the regulation with regards to separation of entries from members. Now, member in the BWF definition is the country or territory of the Badminton Association where the players are from. The BWF General Competition Regulations 11.11 explains the separation of entries. The principle of this regulation is to promote healthy competition wherever possible. Now, entries from any one country shall not meet in the first round. Although this regulation is not applied for the BWF World Championships specifically, but the separation of entries shall be used in the main draw so as to avoid the entries from the same country to meet in the first round. Now, to do this, as we can see from the screen, there are many options. So, to fulfill the regulation that we explained earlier, Andy, could you please check country and separate first round only in the lower section? So do note that this separation will be applied across the 5 events. So now that we have done the separation, please hit Next. All right. Andy and June, please, can you scroll so that we can verify the results? It's now in order, so you may click Finish. And now a pop-up page appears that asks us to save the draw and whether we would finalize the mixed doubles draw. So Andy, now please can you click Yes to continue the draw? Excellent. Now please click on Draw on the left panel, and we can see the draw in a readable format. So Andy, can you please very slowly scroll through the draw so we can see the 16 seeds and the country separation are in order. And of course, you may be able to see Terry He and Jessica Tan, the Commonwealth Games gold medalists, in the draw itself. All right, okay. Right, our next draw is the women's doubles. The winner for the 2021 World Championships Women's is Chen King Chen and Jia Yi Fan. Let's recap their winning moments. The defending champion is currently the world #1 women's doubles pairs. Now let's have a look at the top 16 seeds for the women's doubles. A tough draw for the women's doubles pairs, but also a tough pair to beat. Now, who will ever forget their 2-hour ultra-marathon triumphant battle at the sensational BWF Uber Cup 2020 final? So, now we have, again, our guest from TotalEnergies, Mr. Andy Fong, to make the draw for the women's doubles. The process will be identical with what we have done in the mixed doubles event. Once again, first, click on roster on the left panel, and we have to make sure that we select the right event, which is the women's doubles, and then we look at the entries. So Andy and Jun, can you scroll through the entries to see how many pairs are in there? Excellent. Now we can see that 16 seeds are in the entries, and there are 48 pairs of women's doubles who accepted the invitation to play in the World Championships. Now that we are sure we have 48 pairs in the draw, we'll proceed to make the draw. So once again, go to the navigation bar on top of the page, click Draw, select Make Draw. It is the third option from the drop-down menu. And again, make sure we are making the draw for the right event, the women's doubles, and the main draw has 48 entries. So Andy, please click Next if you confirm that's the right event. And also, Andy, please look over if the country and separate first round only are checked. Remember that we have done this in the first draw and will be applied across all the other events. So now that we have done the separation, please hit Next. Okay, so Andy, can you please scroll so that we can verify the results? Great. So it's now in order and you can click Finish. Once again, a pop-up page appears that asks us to save the draw and whether we would like to finalize the women's doubles draw. So Andy, now please could you click on Yes to continue the draw. And now do click on Draw on the left panel. And there you go. We now see the draw in a readable format. And please scroll slowly so that we can see the 16 seeds and of course the country separation are in order in the first round. Formidable matchup for the women's doubles draw. Right, thank you very much, Andy. Our next draw is the men's doubles. The winner for 2021 World Championships men's doubles is Takuro Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi. Let's recap their winning moments. The defending Japanese men's doubles pairs are also targeting the #1 spot at BWF World Ranking and will be boosted by their home advantage this year. So let's have a look at the top 16 seeds for the men's doubles. There are a lot of strong contenders in the men's doubles, and some comes with their own nicknames and hashtags. For example, the first seeds are called the Minions, the third seeds are called the Daddies, and the ever-popular 8 seeds Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen, well, they have their own hashtag, Sexy Bukan Kepalang, which means, to paraphrase, real sexy men. So they do have a lot of followers. So now we have our guests, Andy, to make the draw for the men's doubles. Again, first, we shall click on the roster on the left panel, and we have to make sure that we select the right event, which is the men's doubles, and then we look at the entries. So please scroll through the entries, Andy and Jun, to see how many pairs are in there. Great. So we can see the 16 seeds, and there are 48 pairs in the men's doubles are in the entries who have accepted the invitation to play in the World Championships. Now that we're sure we have 48 pairs in the draw, we'll proceed to make the draw. So go to the navigation bar on the top of the page, click Draw, select Make Draw. It's, of course, the third option from the drop-down menu. Again, make sure we are making the draw for the right event, men's doubles, and the main draw has 48 entries. So, Andy, please click Next if you're confirmed that it's the right event. And then, again, Andy, please check if the country and separate first round only in the draw wizard are checked. So remember, we have done this on the first draw, and it will be applied again across all the other events. Now that we have done the separation, please hit Next. Thank you. So please, can you scroll so that we can verify the results? Great. So now it's in order, and you may click Finish. Again, a pop-up page appears that asks us to save the draw and whether we would finalize the men's doubles draw. So Andy, now please click on Yes to continue the draw. And now please click on Draw on the left panel. And we can see the draw in a readable format. So do scroll slowly down the draw so we can see the 16 seeds and country separations are in order. Of course, you may be able to see the Popov brothers, who were the silver medalists at the World Junior Championships in 2019. So some pair to look out for. Once again, good look at the men's doubles draw. Thank you very much, Andy. Now, our next draw is the women's singles. The winner for the 2021 World Championships women's singles is Akane Yamaguchi. Let's recap her winning moments. will Akane Yamaguchi be able to retain her world champ title, this time on home soil? But let's have a look at the top 16 seeds first. The women's singles top 16 seeded players are packed with 2 Olympic gold medalists and 4 other former women's singles world champions. Akane Yamaguchi, of course, is the defending champion. The former world champs are Carolina Marin, Nozomi Okuhara, PV Sindhu, and of course, Ratchanok Intanon. Now, we have our guests, Andy, again, to make the draw for the women's singles. Once again, first, we shall click on roster on the left panel, and we have to make sure that we select the right event, which is the women's singles, and then we look at the entries. Once again, Andy and Jun, can you please scroll through the entries to see how many players are in there? Okay, so we can see that the 16 seats, and there are 48 players in the women's singles event are in the entries who have accepted the invitation to play in the World Championships. So now that we're sure we have 48 players in the draw, we'll proceed to make the draw. And we go to the navigation bar on top of the page, click draw, select make draw. It's the third option, of course, from the drop-down menu. And again, we make sure we're making the draw for the right event, which is the women's singles, rather. And the main draw has 48 entries. So Andy, please click next if you confirm that is the right event. Andy, please check if the country and separate first round only in the draw wizard are checked. So remember, we've done this on the first draw and of course continued to be applied across the other events. Now that we have done the separation, please hit next. And of course, Andy, please can you scroll so that we can verify the results? Excellent. It's now in order, and you may click finish. And of course, now a pop-up page appears that asks us to save the draw and whether we'd like to finalize the women's singles draw. And now, Andy, please click on yes to continue the draw. So now click on the draw on the left panel. And voila, we can see the draw in a readable format. So Andy, once again, slowly scroll through the draw so we can see the 16 seeds and of course the country separation are in order. And you may be able to see the MVP of the Ubu Cup 2022, Sim Yu Jin, in that draw as well. An exciting matchup in the women's single. Our next and final draw is the men's singles. The winner for 2021 World Championships men's single is Lo Kian Yu. Now, Lo is the first Singaporean ever to win the World Championship title. Let's recap his winning moments. Now, will Lowe be able to rediscover the form that made him world champion last year? Let's first have a look at the top 16 seeds for the men's singles. Quite a power-packed seeds. Now, the real danger in the men's singles event is, of course, Victor Axelsen. He's won 5 titles this season and pocketed nearly $250,000 as of July 2022. So the biggest question is, can anyone conquer Mount Axelsen? We don't know. So now, Andy, please make the draw for the men's singles. First, of course, click on the roster on the left panel, and we have to make sure that we select the right event, which is the men's singles, and then we look at the entries. And of course, Andy and Jun, please, can you scroll the entries to see how many players are in there? Thank you. So we can see the 16 seeds, and there are 64 players in the men's singles event are in the entries who have accepted the invitation to play in the World Championships. Now that we're sure we have 64 players in the draw, we'll proceed to make the draw. Now go to the navigation bar on top of the page, click Draw, select Make Draw. It's the third option, of course, from the drop-down menu. Again, make sure we're making the draw for the right event, which is the men's singles, and the main draw has 64 entries. So Andy, please click Next if you confirm that it's the right event. And then, Andy, please check if the country and separate first round only in the draw wizard are checked. So remember that we have done this on the first draw and has been applied across all the other events. So now we have done the separation. Please hit Next. Okay, Andy, please can you scroll so that we can verify the results? All right, brilliant. It's now in order, so you may now click Finish. And of course, a pop-up page appears that asks us to save the draw and whether we would finalize the men's singles draw. So Andy, now please click on Yes to continue the draw. And of course, please click on Draw on the left panel. And we can see now the draw in a readable format. So Andy, once again, can you slowly scroll the draw so we can see the 16 Cs, and of course the country separations are in order. And of course, one name probably to note is Eun Se-young, who is the silver medalist at the Commonwealth Games 2022, who's in a very good form at the moment. All right. And there we have it, the draw for the men's singles. And good luck to all those players involved. Thank you very much, Andy and Jun. And that concludes the draw for the TotalEnergies BWF World Championships 2022. Now, the draw for the 5 events will be made available after the referee validates them, and it will be published on BWF's website and Badminton For You, its first global app which was launched back in September 2021. So fans and users of Badminton For You app can follow their favorite players, receive live scores, get notifications when their favorite player is on court, and pick up all the latest news in a flash. So make sure to visit the App Store or Google Play to download it and follow TotalEnergies BWF World Championships results live. On behalf of the BWF, we'd like to thank our title sponsor, TotalEnergies, of course, HSBC, Nippon Badminton Association, the Japan Sports Promotion Lottery, Yonex, Lei Mao, M88 Mansion, and of course, Rinnai. And we also like to thank you, the audience, for being part of the draw process. We look forward to the TotalEnergies BWF World Championships 2022 from the 22nd to the 28th of August 2022 in Tokyo, Japan. But before we end this live stream, we'd like to invite you to Tokyo, Japan and what it offers during the tournament. Thank you and see you in Tokyo.